Okay, happy Tuesday po, May 24, 2022. Ito po ang The Stock Market Today. Kung first time niyo po sa channel na ito, ako po si Benji Chodoro, isang retired bank officer na nagsimula mag-invest sa Philippine stock market noong 2007. I also report the latest news on your favorite and most active stocks. If you like the content, I invite you to subscribe to my channel. Kung meron po kayong stocks na gustong ipa-review, paki-comment lang po sa comment box at aking ipa-prioritize. Hindi po ako financial advisor. Anything I say in this channel ay hindi po financial advice. Ang ating news ay tungkol sa Mega World kasama ang ating financial headlines at ang resulta ng trading sa Philippine Stock Exchange ngayong araw, May 24, 2022, dito lamang sa The Stock Market Today. Okay, so let's start with our financial headlines. Dito po sa macro news from BDO Securities, Balisacan returned to NEDA as Chief Socio-Economic Planner. Marcos to prioritize stimulus package. T-bills rates continue to climb. So yung 91-day benchmark is 1.68% or 21.2 basis points up. And the 182 days or 6 months is 1.89%, up 13.7 basis points. Okay, Converge announces share buyback, full exit of Coherent Cloud. And then we also have FGen mulls conversion of gas plants to hydrogen. Tech retailer files 4 billion IPO. Ito po yung Upson International Corp, no? To fund expansion. And then, ito po ang ating main news. This is from Philstar. What went wrong? BIR Mega World face-off in-house inquiry. Manila, Philippines. Congressional lawmakers mounted a special inquiry in the aftermath of the BIR's closure order against Mega World Corp, revealing a communication breakdown that led to last week's fiasco. On Monday, Albay Representative Joey Salceda, chairman of the Ways and Means Committee, led an inquiry attended by officials from BIR, Basis Conversion and Development Authority, Department of Finance, and executives from Mega World. BIR officials led by Deputy Commissioners Marisa Cabreros and Arnel Gubalia explained that the issuance of the order stemmed from an investigation of possible errant tax payments of real estate developers and firms. Also present at the inquiry was BIR Regional Director Eduardo Pagulayan, who said there were possible tax leakages after some condominium owners complained that their tax payments for their properties were not remitted by the real estate developers. A task force was set up in October last year to investigate these tax issues of real estate developers, according to the tax agency. The BIR also said that they found out that the BCDA, a state-owned company, and Mega World entered into an unincorporated joint venture wherein the latter will develop swaths of land owned by the government. The joint venture was not registered with the BIR. Salceda wondered why BIR sent the closure order only to Mega World, BCDA, and BIR officials said the BCDA paid their taxes promptly. The violation is by a joint venture. Both parties should be held to account, Salceda quipped. In the course of BIR's investigation, Mega World officials in attendance, helmed by Andrew and Kevin Tan, were surprised that they were not given ample time to respond to BIR's demands, nor was the company accorded due process. BIR officials confirmed in the hearing that it issued letters of authority to Mega World demanding a tax audit that they may be shown the company's accounting books. These letters were only sent on April 17. The BIR also said it had similar LOAs to the real estate firms in the course of its investigation. According to MegaWorld, it wrote back to the BIR days later calling out an issue of jurisdictional overlap since the letters were not directed toward the joint venture of BCDA and MegaWorld, which was created after the Tan-led firm won a public bidding back in 2009. Cracks in their correspondence became visible as MegaWorld has not agreed to be audited by the BIR, while BIR sought to exercise all legal options to secure an audit and access to MegaWorld's accounting records. Maria Clara Uy Kim, head of MegaWorld's Corporate Advisory and Compliance Division, said the BIR denied our claim. MegaWorld submitted another protest letter on May 5 but was surprised that a media advisory pertaining to a closure order to be issued against the firm was already in the works, saying it was like a gun to our head. The BIR advisory to the news media about the issuance of closure order against MegaWorld caused mayhem for the company's shares. The younger Tan lamented that the backlash was swift, resulting in a sell-off of more than 400 million shares on May 17. Obviously, we don't believe this warranted as no audit was done prior to that. No due process was conducted, said Kevin Tan, Company Chief Vice President and Chief Strategy Officer. If the BIR can do it against a publicly listed company, what else could they do to other businesses, Tan added. BIR's Kubalya said the inquiry that Director Pagulayan sought to use the closure order as a tool to audit MegaWorld. In turn, the elder Tan branded BIR's investigation as petty issue since they entered into a deed of trust with BCDA to develop taxpayer-owned land. By the end of the inquiry, lawmakers lamented miscommunication that transpired between the property giant and the taxman. What we are seeing is a mix of miscommunication between private sector and the government. This will have a negative effect on our economy, Iloilo Representative Janet Garin said. Okay, yan po ang gulo, no? Miscommunication pala nangyari dito. And the threat of closing is quite serious, and it caused the stock to drop. Okay? So I hope yan po ang naayos na po yan. Okay, so let's now go to your comments and let me read some of them. Ano? Philip Gon says, nice. Salamat po, Philip. Suking-suki itong si Philip. No? And then, si Rogen, sabi ni Rogen, Sir Benj, let's review TEL, MER, GLOW, and ICT. Sige po, sama po natin yan. Also, thank you for your educating us about the martial law years. Salamat po. I hope the article that I sent is helpful. No? It's a 1979 article written by an independent reporter, no? A foreign correspondent. Sabi ni Makiuso, I think it's not fair to transfer the sins of the father to the son. I think BBM has shown he is not like his father. So for now, let's give him the benefit of the doubt. The Constitution also made sure that concentration of power isn't as extreme anymore as it was before. So even if BBM would be like his father, he wouldn't be able to do the same things. I'm actually pretty happy that Lenny did not win because she represents the over-regulatory swamp we are in, although I also did not root for BBM victory. As investors, we should just make the best out of the situation and position ourselves accordingly. I'm a bit scared of BBM's stance on open pit mining, but until he gives the order to go SEC and DMC. Best quarter and lowest PE ever in history. Sana talaga BBM doesn't stop his coal shortage party. Okay, so maraming po salamat sa comment na yon. And I agree with you, Makiuso, no? That sins of the father does not transfer to the son because they are two different persons. And of course, I also agree that the Constitution has these safeguards, so that hindi ka basta-basta pwede mag-declare ng martial law. You need the consent of Congress. So, tama yun, no? Yung concentration of power isn't as extreme. But let me give you some comment. Meron lang po akong short comment. Actually, wag po kayo magagalit sa akin, no? When I say this, baka bigla po kayo mag-unsubscribe sa akin, no? Wag naman po. And this is just my 2 cents worth, no? You may or may not agree with me kasi BBM ran on a platform of unity. Now, while his victory was landslide, mandate of 31 million votes, how can he achieve unity with our very polarized nation? Hanggang ngayon, polarized po tayo or divided, Now, with his election into the highest office of the land, he also brought with him the baggage and the stigma that comes with his family name. Though sinasabi mo nga na it is not fair to transfer the sins of the father to the son, totoo po yun, pero the stigma of the family name is still there. So take for example, the victims of martial law. Marami dyan kinulong, tinorture, pinatay, nawala. Marami sa mga victims ng martial law, buhay pa. Sina Etor Sales, Satur Ocampo, and according to the report of Amnesty International, 70,000 people were imprisoned without any charge, 34,000 were tortured, 3,240 were killed, and this is according to the estimate of Amnesty International. So how can you correct or make amends this historical fact? Even if BBM is not Marcos Sr., the fact remains that he is still a Marcos, and brings with it the stigma of the dark period of Philippine history. Take note, BBM has never admitted the wrongs made of his father or mother. Para sa kanya, wala siyang ginawang masama. Walang masamang ginawa ang kanyang ama at ina. And this is just my humble opinion. Sa akin lang, if he will voluntarily admit the wrongs of his father and mother. Take note, yung mother niya, convicted of graft and corruption in 2019, naka-appeal lang. Okay, according to the PCGG. If he will voluntarily admit to the wrongs of his father and mother and voluntarily compensate or make amends in some other way the victims of martial law, then para sa akin, we can achieve unity in this country. Without that admission and the prayer of forgiveness, our country will remain polarized and divided. You may not agree with me, but that is just what I think and my 2 cents on the issue. Of course, si BBM ang president ng 110 million Filipinos, and we have to support his leadership. But his platform of unity will not succeed if there is no admission of the wrongs and mistakes of those dark years and the prayer for forgiveness in behalf of what his father and mother has done during the dark days of martial law. Sa Biblia po, meron pong kwento, yung kwento ni Zacchaeus, si Zacchaeus. When Jesus was passing through, umakyat si Zacchaeus dahil gusto niya makita si Jesus. So sabi ni Jesus, nung makita siya, bumaba ka dito, pupuntahan kita sa bahay mo. And then after that encounter, si Zacchaeus came out a changed man. Sabi ni Zacchaeus, Panginoon, here and now I give half of my possessions to the poor. And if I have cheated anybody out of anything, I will pay back 4 times the amount. Zacchaeus po ay tax collector. Now, just like Zacchaeus in the Bible, it is my hope and prayer that Marcos Jr. would have that same transformation as that tax collector who met Jesus and made a difference in his life. Okay? So yan po ang aking rejoinder o sagot, but wag po kayo magagalit sa akin, baka bigla kayo mag-unsubscribe, and that is just my humble opinion and my 2 cents worth. Okay, so meron pa ba? Let's now go to the Philippine Stock Exchange and the Philippine Stock Exchange Index on how it performed today. Yan, kita na tayo. Okay, the Philippine Stock Exchange Index declined by 110.40 points, or 1.65% down. So yesterday it was 58.48 points. Now it's double that, no? And it's a larger red candlestick with RSI bearish at 24. So wag po tayo pakampante dito, no? Dahil ang ating situation with regards to the war on Ukraine as well as the COVID situation in China is not helping the stock markets. And I saw this, just this afternoon. This was released from Philstar. Asian markets fall on China growth concerns. This is 1:02 p.m. today. Asian stocks retreated on Tuesday, which is today, on concerns over the impact of China's COVID restrictions on the world's second largest economy as investment banks slashed their forecast. The strong rally on Wall Street, where the Dow closed 2% higher, did not carry over Asia, and Beijing's announcement of fresh raft of measures to stimulate the economy did little to calm nerves. So, nag-decline po ang mga markets because of China, no? Let's go to the market activity. 120 companies declined, 63 advanced, while 54 remained unchanged. The all-share index also declined by 1.14%. All the sectoral indices are down, and this was led by the holding companies, and the only bright spot is mining, which gained 0.18%. And also, there was this comment here earlier from Maki Uson. Sabi niya, I'm a bit scared on BBM's stance on open pit mining. But until he gives the order, go SEC and DMC. Best quarter and lowest PE ever in history. Sana talaga BBM doesn't stop his coal shortage party. Okay, totoo po yan, no? We are awaiting the announcement. Sino po yung bagong DENR secretary na sana ay forgiving siya sa mining. Kasi mining has suffered a lot during the Duterte administration, especially during the time when Gina Lopez was DENR, no? Binan niya yung open pit mining. Kaya po many of the mining companies, well, did not operate very well, no? Because to work on the restrictions on open pit mining. Pero buti na lang, no? Because the government needed money, and Gina Lopez also passed away and was replaced by Secretary Simatu. Nagkaroon ng revival ng open pit mining, and furthermore, the government need the revenues, and open pit mining naman is relatively safe, and it is used in most all over the world, no? Anyway, so abangan po natin yan, yung development, especially not only in the SEC and DMC, but also in Philex, no? Philex Mining, part of the MPI group. Okay, let's now review your requested stocks, no? TEL, MER, Glow, ICT, and then let's choose two here. Let's choose one, SCC, which is a mining stock, and MBT, which is a financial stock. Okay, so let's now go to TEL. Si TEL had a red candlestick today, but it's just, the closing is just touching the EMA 20. EMA 20 is 1920, so 1916 po ito. So it went a bit lower, but nevertheless, it still touches that line. Ating indicators are yung medium and long term are still under the candlestick. So let's place our support at EMA 100 at 1826. Yan po. But it continues to move up based on our indicators, ano? So let's draw na lang a parallel channel here. Yan. With resistance at 1977 and support just touching the EMA 100, that's 1826, 1825. Support and resistance, hindi po yan exact points, these are areas. RSI is just above the midpoint at 51, so bullish to sideways po ang movement ng TEL. And then MER. Si MER ay, yan, moving sideways also. It had a red candlestick today. So yung long-term indicator, nakikita nyo po, straight, no? Straight line, meaning that it has reached or just moving sideways with support. Let's place the support here. Nandito sa 331 and resistance dito po sa 374. Yan po. Ang MER moving sideways. Pero kung titingnan po natin ang fundamentals, Meralco, 445 po yung target price po niya with a 27% upside. So may upside pa po yan based on fundamentals. But based on technicals, it's just moving sideways. Bearish po ang RSI, nasa 46.72. And then Glow. Okay, mukhang magagandang stocks tong napili ni Rogen. Yan, mukhang nagre-recover po si Glow, no? Yung short and medium term indicators are now under, although the long term is still above. So bearish to sideways ang movement niya, and RSI is on the bullish side, nasa 56 po. So we expect more upward movement dahil puro green candlesticks po ito except for the red today. Though our indicators are already under, but except for the long term, no? So we expect some moving up for Glow. Support is here at 22.36, while the resistance is here, lagay po natin dito, at 26.71. ICT naman, ito yung kay Mr. Rason, no? Yan, just moving sideways si ICT, yung long-term indicator piercing through. It's bearish to sideways ang movement. So nagkaroon po siya ng crossover dito. Ito po, no? Yung short-term indicator crossing over the medium-term indicator, meaning on the short to medium term, the stock has turned bearish. So RSI confirms that at 48. However, well, hindi naman however, but yung long-term indicator is just about to cross. So I think it's moving to the bearish side. Yan po ang pinaka-support niya, nasa 206 area. And the resistance, ang pinakamalapit na nakikita ko is nasa 221. RSI is 48. So bearish po yung RSI niya. Then, SCC. Okay, moving up si SCC. And nakita niyo po ito, the EMA 100 is acting as our support. Lahat ng indicators natin ay nasa ilalim na po. So, RSI is steady moving up and it's now at 67.29, meaning bullish po siya. And it's now reaching the resistance level here at 34. 34 po ang pinaka-resistance niya. And yung pinaka 52-week high niya was 35. Dito po no March 5 na register, or March 8 rather, na register. So, nakikita ko po dyan ay the trend is moving upwards with MO100 acting as our support. Then finally, we have Metrobank. Si Metrobank, naku, si Metrobank, pababa si Metrobank, it's bearish. Pero fundamentally, tingnan natin si Metrobank, 68 pesos po, no? Nasa 52 or 50.10, or that is a 30% upside. So may possibility pa of moving up. Our indicators is showing that it is bearish. So bearish to sideways po ang kanyang movement. Pinaka-support niya nandito po sa area to, no? Nasa 50.10. Resistance is here at 56 pesos. RSI is bearish at 41. Okay, yan po ang ating report sa stock market ika-24 ng Mayo 2022. Ito po si Benji Chodoro nagpapaalala, mag-ingat sa COVID at sa mga scams. Investment in knowledge pays the best interest. Love your country. Give our new leaders a chance, but continue to do what is good, right, and just. Maraming salamat sa inyong pagsubaybay. Hanggang sa muli, stay safe, God bless, and bye for now.